After that, I stopped sleeping properly. Not because I was afraid of falling asleep, but because I was afraid of waking up and discovering what had happened in between. Every morning felt like opening evidence. I checked my phone first, then my laptop, then my apartment. I memorized details before going to bed. The position of chairs, the angle of doors, the way light fell across the walls. Most mornings, nothing had changed, and that almost disappointed me, because it meant I was still waiting. I tried to stay awake one night. I drank coffee late, kept the lights on, sat in my living room, watching the digital clock tick forward. Midnight passed. Then 1 a.m. My thoughts began to blur around the edges, not suddenly, gradually, like someone turning down the contrast on reality. I remember thinking that I should stand up. That movement might help. I don't remember standing. I remember sitting again. And the clock said 3:47 a.m. My phone was warm in my hand. I didn't remember picking it up. There was a new note, short this time. You drift faster when you resist. I felt something tighten inside my chest, not panic, understanding. Because the sentence wasn't mocking me. It wasn't threatening. It was observational, like a conclusion drawn from data. The next day, I found proof I couldn't explain away. A video, recorded from my phone, saved to my camera roll. I was standing in my kitchen, facing the camera, perfectly still. For almost 2 minutes, I didn't move. I didn't blink. My expression wasn't blank. It was attentive, like I was listening to something just out of frame. At the very end of the video, my mouth moved. I leaned slightly closer to the camera and said, "You don't need to be present for everything." I deleted the video. Then I checked the trash. Then I checked my backups. It was gone. But the memory of it wasn't. I couldn't shake the feeling that deleting it had been expected. Like removing evidence wasn't resistance, it was maintenance. I started noticing changes in how people reacted to me, subtle ones. Friends said I seemed calmer, more decisive. My manager praised my consistency. Someone told me I sounded more confident lately. They weren't wrong. Things were getting easier. Life was smoothing itself out, and I hated that. Because it meant whatever was sharing my life with me was doing a better job than I was. One evening, I found a message draft I hadn't sent. Addressed to myself. It was longer than the others, more careful. It read, "You keep assuming this is something external, a mistake, an intrusion. But you're the one leaving. Every time you drift, every time you hesitate, every time you stop paying attention, I don't take control. I continue." I sat on the floor for a long time after reading that, trying to argue with it, trying to deny it, but I couldn't find a counterpoint because it wasn't wrong. I'd always been like this, spacing out, losing time, letting routines carry me. I had just never imagined something would fill in the gaps. That night, I stood in front of my bathroom mirror. I looked at my reflection and said my own name, slowly, deliberately. I watched my face respond. There was no delay this time, no distortion, just me. I leaned closer and whispered, "If you're me, then stop." The reflection didn't change, but my phone vibrated, a new notification. It was a calendar reminder, scheduled for the next morning. The title said, "Let Go," and beneath it, in smaller text, "You don't disappear, you rest." I didn't sleep. I stayed awake until the sky outside began to lighten. I focused on every sensation, every breath, every sound. I refused to drift. When the reminder notification appeared, I dismissed it, immediately, forcefully, as if that meant something. That was this morning. And so far, nothing has happened. No new messages, no notes, no missing time. But the quiet feels different now, not empty, expectant, like something is waiting to see how long I can keep this up. Because now I understand something I didn't before. This isn't a fight for control. It's a negotiation, and I don't know what happens when I finally get too tired to stay present.